Welcome back to Making Tracks. I'm Nkongo, Cigolo. An important feature of transit development in the Twin Cities is the level of economic investment that has followed each project. The Twin Cities has seen about $13 billion invested in development along light rail corridors since around 2009. The Green Line Extension project, for example, has seen unprecedented development with $3.1 billion in housing, retail, and entertainment projects already built, under construction or permitted, and another $700 million in new investment being planned by developers. Significant development has already followed bus rapid transit projects like the recently opened Gold Line bus rapid transit connecting downtown St. Paul to eastern suburbs like Woodbury and Oakdale, spurring over $805 million in development along the corridor, including new residential, commercial, and community spaces with another $1.2 billion planned or proposed. In this episode, we highlight this economic development with insights from Michael Krantz, Senior Manager of Transit-Oriented Development at the Met Council, and Stephen Klimek, Executive Director of Towerside Innovation District between Minneapolis and St. Paul.
When we use the term transit-oriented development, or TOD, what we're talking about is medium to high density development in a neighborhood with a wide mix of uses served by frequent transit and pedestrian-friendly streets. Can the people living and working in that neighborhood get where they're going by walking, biking, and taking transit? And can they do it conveniently, comfortably, and safely? If they can do that, they live in a good transit-oriented community.
The Prospect Park and St. Anthony Park neighborhoods of Minneapolis and St. Paul have long been historic neighborhoods with strong community ties. Before the Green Line, much of the surrounding land was underutilized. Rail yards, surface parking lots, light industrial uses. It was a patchwork of residential blocks alongside this kind of disconnected and underperforming land and spaces right in the middle of the city. And the coming of the Green Line really presented an opportunity to reimagine that land as a new kind of sustainable mixed-use neighborhood. And that collaboration laid foundations for what we call Towerside Innovation District here today, our first innovation district in Minnesota, really focused on all of the important community needs, equity, sustainability, and really creating a model for a dense, vibrant district community.
We've seen about $13 billion in development along our LRT corridors going back to 2009, and that's including the Metro Blue Line, the Metro Green Line, as well as the Metro Green Line extension. A large part of that, over half of that, is new homes that have been built along these corridors in multifamily housing. But there's also a really large part of new jobs, new retail, new office opportunities are being built, as well as new educational institutions and healthcare services that are being built along the corridor. Everybody living and working along these corridors have better access to jobs and housing. With every new project, everybody along that corridor benefits from it.
Since the Green Line opened, Towerside has seen almost 36 new development projects, totaling over 3 million square feet of new space. And that's also represented almost $1 billion of permit value in construction. And this includes just over 4,000 new units of housing. 20% of those are affordable, and they include a huge range of student, workforce, senior, mixed income to really create this beautiful vibrancy of different people living and working here.
We've been tracking the Metro Green Line extension since 2011, and since then we've already seen over $3 billion in permitted development along that corridor before it even starts revenue operations. We would anticipate to see more development along the Metro Blue Line as it's had time for developers to start to understand where that investment is going to be and where stations are located. Before the Great Recession, the vast majority of new development in the region was, particularly on the housing side, single-family homes built on the edge of the region. Following the Great Recession, we saw a pretty significant shift from new single-family home construction to multifamily home construction. And we also saw a huge share of the new multifamily construction being built near areas served by the Metro Blue Line and the Metro Green Line in neighborhoods that hadn't seen significant new investment for decades. Over 80% of housing that's built for households that are making around 30% of area median income are being built within walking distance of our transit stations, including our light rail stations. There's been some research from Pew and from other organizations looking at how new market rate development might impact the rents for housing nearby. And what they find is that when you are building enough new housing, again, even if it is market rate housing, it tends to slow the growth of older, more naturally affordable housing nearby. So it can really benefit the residents of those households who may not be able to handle a significant increase in rent. These TOD investments generate a lot of revenue, and what we've seen in study after study is they generate more revenue than they consume in both infrastructure and services, so that the benefit from that tax base is that it helps communities better maintain their existing infrastructure and also provide the services that are so important to those residents. Without new development, the cost of maintaining those services and maintaining infrastructure falls on existing residents. But in those communities where new housing is being built, because it is such an effective way to generate tax base, it can help defray those costs for everybody else in the community, help to maintain the quality of services and infrastructure that those communities are accustomed to.
Thank you for joining me. For more information on the Blue Line Extension project, go to our website, bluelineext.org. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your interest in the Blue Line Extension project.